guys. Deb from Aussie Maille here. Welcome to our Saturday night live stream. Let me just pop out this chat so I can make sure I can catch all your guys' comments. Fantastic. I can see a lot of people are already in. So let me see, who have we got? We've got Ray and Kim and Susie and Linda. Hi, guys. Hey, Casey and Oz, I understand you're a first-time live viewer, Casey. Caught you guys chatting earlier. We're sorry to hear you're at work, mate, but I'm glad you can still pop in to see us. Hey, Joe, Roslyn, Dawn, Debbie. Who else have we got? Hey, Jane, I can see you there. And Leanne, I think, Leanne, you were the first one in. Congratulations on that. All right, fantastic. We've got lots of people coming in. Hey, Anthea, good to see you. Hey, Owen. Hey, Mr. Wes. Hey, Margaret, glad you could pop in. Super. All right, so we're doing the Tetra Orb tutorial tonight. Hopefully all you guys, I don't know if any of you guys have had a play on it already. This is the first of our new kits in our layout. So with the kits you we're able to make 4 different projects. Easiest to start with the biggest rings and work your way down to the smaller ones, and maybe that way you won't hate me so much when you get to the smaller ones. All right, fantastic. All right, well, since we've got quite a few people here, almost as good as mailing. That's good. Since we've got quite a few people here, we might jump on board then and just have a look at the pieces that I've made up for the kits. Okay. All right. So as I said, the kits that went out enabled you to make 4 pieces. We tried to stay completely away from bracelets this time, especially with it being a unit weave. And we tried to give you a piece with each gauge because the pieces themselves were so small. So this is, we use AWG for those that don't know. So a 14 gauge is 1.6 mil. And for these larger ones, the ones we chose to use as keychains, but you know, I mean, you can use them as pendants or anything, whatever you like. 9.5 millimeter ID for those. And we chose to double up the outer rings. It just helps make it a little bit tighter. So that was the keychain, 9.5 millimeter ID, 14 gauge. Our pendant uses the 16 gauge rings. So in this case, it's 16 gauge 7 mils. And we just thought it looked pretty with a little extra tassel on the end. And we put in a matching pair of earrings. Now these earrings use the 18 gauge rings. That was 6 mil ID on the 18 gauge. And then we thought we'd throw in another pair of earrings for you in the 20 gauge. And that is 4.75 mil. And we popped a little bead in there. That one's a faceted round bead, 6 mils. That one is quite tight, it's quite tricky. Take your time with that one. But that's our little, Chris reckons they look like maces, our little mace earrings. So that's all available in the kit that went out to our February subscribers, along with, and I didn't bring one with me, a titanium loop bag. So I hope everybody's enjoying their titanium, that it's not causing too much pain and swearing and all the rest of it. All right, and I wanted to show you this little one. This is the one I did today. I don't know if I'm going to get close enough to the camera to actually show it to you. This is 22 gauge, which is 0.6 mil wire. The ring sizes for this one were 3.5 mils, and inside that is a little 4 millimeter Swarovski bicone. That was torturous. Oops, I've dropped it. I did this in BA because that's what I've got in the 22 gauge. I would suggest if you're going to do it, go for something a bit harder. Stainless steel would be a better bet. I actually almost straightened some of the rings trying to get it all into position. So if you want to do it, I mean, be patient. It took me a couple of goes. I actually put the rings totally away at one stage and just went, nope, not doing it. But don't use, my suggestion would be don't use BA. It's just too soft, and you do have to put a little bit of pressure on some of those rings, and the BA just isn't up for it. Okay, all right. Who's popped in? Silver's popped in while I was chatting.
Dana's here.
Dana's here. I didn't see Dana. Hey, Dana. How are you, love? Ray. I don't think I saw you before, Ray. Can't remember. Anyway, hi again, Ray, just in case.
Daryl, Kiwi, Potter.
Oh, Daryl. Well, Daryl, did you catch the ring sizes? Because you asked for the ring sizes for the 22 gauge. Just in case you didn't, it's 3.5 mil ID with a 4 mil bicone. All right. Okay, so we'll make a start. I would suggest prepping your rings for this one definitely. At very least the closed rings, and this is the order that the closed rings get used in, and that's usually how I set them out. I'm going to use blue this time to show you the orbiting rings, and the final piece will look like this. But I thought I'd just do the blue so you could see which one were the orbiting rings and what I was doing with it. Okay. You can't hear a thing, Dawn. Turn your sound up. You can hear me okay, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Perfect. All right. Oh, you wrote them down, Daryl? Fantastic. All right, so we'll make a start then on this piece. As I said, look, the construction itself isn't all that difficult, but it is extremely fiddly. Okay, so if you're going to do your orbiting rings in a different color, make sure they're the first rings that you put on. So we first want to put 3 of our closed rings onto our open ring. I'm actually using 14 gauge 3/8, which is 9.53 mils. I found when I did a mostly AA version with a little bit of BA, it was actually much, much looser than the mostly BA at the same ring size, with just a little bit of AA in it. So obviously colour in the AA rings can make or break the stiffness of the weave. Just something to keep in mind. All right, so I'm going to see if I can pull this off without making too much of a fool of myself. But once you've got your 3 rings on here, what you want to do is very carefully, and I'm going to hold on to this with the pliers, is move that 3rd ring, one furthest away from the opening, so that it slips over the bottom of the opened ring there. Okay. So once it slips over like that, it causes an orbiting ring, and that's what we want, basically. Once you've done that, close your ring. I have no special hints or tips, unfortunately. If anybody's got some, I'd love to hear about it. It's a case of just being really, really careful and moving everything slowly. So you're left with a piece that looks like this. And we want to put our next open ring through one of these rings down the bottom. I just choose the one on the right hand side. I'm right-handed, that's why I choose that. It doesn't really matter. So next step, once you've got that one down pat, take up one of your open rings, feed on 2 of your closed rings this time. Again, if you're making that orbiting ring a different color, that has to be the ring closest to your right hand for me. We pick up our piece that we've started, we pop our open through ring through one of those ears, one of those rings there on the bottom. This now gives us 3 rings on our open ring, and we just do the same. Holding your mouth right, yep, especially with the smaller ones. So just very carefully lift it up and over that opening. It's much, much easier with the 14 gauges. It gets tricky once you get down to the 20 gauges. With the 22 gauge, I wasn't able to actually use my hand to move those rings. I had to use the pliers because they were so small and my fingers were just basically getting in the way. I couldn't move just one ring, I was moving the whole 3. So once it got down to the really thin ones, using your pliers helped. Okay, so once you've slipped that ring over, all you need to do is close your big open ring. Okay, and you should have something that looks like this. Oh, hi Ace, glad you could make it. Washing dishes, that doesn't sound like much fun. I have children to do that. All right, so once we're here, our next ring that we want to place needs to go through these 2 loose rings here at the bottom. Okay, well, that's the point. No, I don't. I'd probably end up stabbing my eye out if I did that. All right, so this time we want just 1 loose ring, or 1 closed ring put on our open ring. Well, this one's, you know, shall I say it? And it's blue, so it must be Mickey. All right, it's going to cause some nasty comments, I'm sure. All right, so take up your opened with the 1 ring on it, feed it through both of those rings there. Again, this gives you the 3 closed rings on your open ring. Okay, there. Oh, look, I don't mind doing it in this size. I can do it in this size all day, but that 22 gauge was the undoing of me. And then just slip. I find this one's a bit harder because those silver rings are already sort of spaced out. And I'll try not to make a fool of myself. There we go. Slip that over so it goes over the edge and orbits the rings. As I said, if anybody has experience in making these and has some super handy trick, share it with the group. That would be great. But this is perseverance is the only way I know how to do it. All right, so we've got our work now that looks like this. We won't notice if you do. You might if I start swearing at it, which is a strong possibility. All right, so when we're at this stage, we want to place our next open ring. It can then be through any of these rings that form the triangle here. It doesn't matter which one you choose, just choose one of those. So with an open ring, place on 2 closed rings this time, because we're only going through one of these rings. We always want to put 3 rings on our open ring. So popping it through one of those, giving us our 3 rings here. Then we move our ring, the 3rd ring, the one furthest from the opening here that we're trying to feed through. We move that over our, oops, I can't get this one. Here we go. My fingernail's in the way. Maybe I need to cut my fingernail off. Oh, goodness me. Whipped these up. There we go. Over the top. The beauty of the video, Jane, is that you can stop it, take your time, go back. I'm not expecting you to keep up with this video. It is really fiddly to get those orbiting rings over. Don't be worried first time around if it takes a lot longer than what it's taking me. It certainly did when I first started doing them. Okay, so our work looks like that. So this is the ring that we've just added. What we want to do here is add our next one through the ring off that, and this ring, one of these rings over here. Because we've got 2 rings here, we only need to add 1 more closed ring onto our open ring. Okay, feed it through. Oh, actually, I'll stop here for the moment. If you want to add a bead, this is where you would add the bead before you start closing this up. So with these 9.5 rings, I find a 10mm bead works. This is a lava bead that I have from our aromatherapy business. It's the only bead I've got in this size. I don't usually work in this size, so. But it'll show you. You just pop that in there, and then you continue as normal if you want a bead in there. Okay, so I'm just going to take that out. There we go. This is the stage where you add the beads if you want to put them in. All right. So feed it through 2 of the silver rings, and then we take our loose ring that we've got and we feed it over the top. Nearly there. There we go. Over the top of our opening here, so that it now becomes an orbiting ring. And we close that up. Keep finding my fingers totally out of it and using just pliers. Yep, absolutely. As I said, when I do the smaller ones, I have to use the pliers. If that works for you, go for it. Emojis on the laptop.
Trying to work out what the purple thing was, but it's a space invader.
It's an alien, yeah. Fantastic. All right, so we've got just one more ring to place now. So we'll be joining these 2 rings here, which is why we've only got one closed ring on our open ring. We feed it through our 2 rings there, and then just like, oops, slip, just like the others, slip it over the edge so it becomes an orbiting ring, and we close that up. Okay, and that's it. That's our Tetra Orb. There's a pause button. Wow, I didn't know there was a pause button.
When you're rewatching.
Oh, when you're rewatching. I thought you was pausing me while I was live.
Yeah, no, you can pause live.
Can you? You can pause live?
Yep.
Ah. Margaret, it takes a little bit of effort and a little bit of finagling and a whole lot of patience to move that ring over. Try, like Daryl said, and use, where I'm using my hat finger, use both your sets of pliers to help move it over. But patience is your best bet in this case. If you rush it, things are going to fall apart all over the place. You may do it a different way. There is another way to make it. The way on Maille Artisans is completely different. I have made it that way as well. Kate didn't find it particularly better or worse. So if you're struggling to do it this way, maybe check out the tutorial on Maille Artisans and give it a try. But yeah, so that's your 14 gauge version, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay. Yeah, you would obviously stay behind after pausing. All right. Now, do you need me to do that again, or you guys would be right to go back perhaps later and just watch the video again and again? Like I can't say it enough. Patience is all that it, isn't all that's required. Patience will go a long way for you to get this. Like I said, the 22 gauge one, I actually put the rings away and refused to do it the other night because I just couldn't get it right. The 22 gauge is so tiny, Dawn. Really tiny, really cute. I'm not sure I'll ever do that to myself though and make another one. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. They are really super cute. You can always hang, you know, like we put the tassels on the bottom of them. You can put beads, hang beads off them and things like that. Incorporate different colors. Yeah, go crazy with it. Not just crazy because of it, which could happen as well. Never be watching it again. Yep, no shame in that at all. 22 gauge is pretty. Yep, if you've got a tip, Kate, go for it. You think I'm good? Yeah, one of the problems I had with the 22 gauge was the wire was too soft. Oh, okay.
Maybe she's not so good.
No. Ace retracted her message. She said, she said it was a mind blower. And then she retracted it.
Mm.
Oh, Ace, I was answering your question and everything. Yeah, so the problem I had with the 22 gauge was the softness of the wire. I don't know if it would have been any easier with the stainless steel. I don't have any 22 gauge stainless steel, so I can't give it a try. But Kate, if you want to type up your tip, that would be beautiful if it's typable. Otherwise, maybe just share it to the group.
Put it as a comment.
Yep, put it as a comment on the bottom of the video. You know, I don't know how you retract a message. Drop something. Sorry, meant mine bender. Okay. All right. Oh, Ray retracted hers as well.
She worked
Stop
it
it.
out.
Stop it. You're messing with my mind. Stop it. All right. Fantastic. Ace, why did you remove your comment? Last bit you add if you don't do the moving orbital ring. If you can't do the moving orbital ring. Okay. Oh, everyone's just being funny now, aren't you? Look at you. Oh, very, very funny. All right. Stop tormenting the Debbie. It's not funny. I'm not sure what you mean, Kate. So you're talking about? Oh, right. Sit the orbital on top. Yep. Oh, yeah. I understand. Then loop the last ring through. Yep. Super cool. We can all do it. What? Retract all the messages? Well, it's a really good thing we're not doing the giveaways tonight then, because none of you would win one. All right. Nope, there it goes again. Use a smaller AR ring to get the gap, then add the proper ring. Okay.
So it's a 12.
Yep. No, that's a great idea. I'll actually give that a go. So are you only doing that with the last ring, Kate? Or is that a technique you're employing all the way through? Because that would be interesting. Oh, I've got to put a user in timeout option. Yep. Yeah. All right, fantastic. Okay, so as I said, this is the first night of our new format. So those that are used to us giving a weekly giveaway, we're not doing that this month. Yeah, Linda, you're right on the top of the list.
And Susie.
Yep, Susie and Linda, right on the top. We won't do a giveaway tonight. We'll only be doing our giveaways in week 4 now. But there'll be a much more substantial giveaway. And next week we'll be doing an existing kit. I still have been a little bit slack and not made a real decision, but I'll make one now. I put the kit up on the website the other day, so let's do tying flies next Saturday. And I better make a note to myself. Chris, are you listening? Tying flies. A note to future Deb.
Okay.
A note to future Deb, tying flies. All right, so that'll be our existing kit demo next week. It was one of the ones that we put out in the December kits, but we didn't do the live sessions for because of the Christmas sale and everything. So next week we'll do tying flies. Okay, who wants to go first? Can we only put one in there at a time? Oh, well, we can't put them both together. They'd enjoy that too much, wouldn't they? Okay. Time flies is nice and easy. So you guys shouldn't hate me at all next week. All right. So if everybody's okay, so our subscription service is open for March's kids for those that want to sign up for March, and of course our 5% discount started this month for our members. We've got a couple of really cool loot items planned for the next few months. I think you guys should be pretty happy with what we've got planned. And don't forget, guys, if you're not a subscriber to us already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give us some likes, give us some comments. All of that sort of stuff helps us gain a little bit of notice on YouTube, get people to see what we're doing. We really like to get the word out there about Aussie Mailers and our Saturday night gang. So, you know, spread the word. Subscribe if you don't, that would be really great. Even just a like or a comment would be fabulous once the session goes public. Tying bees. So like when you used to pluck one of your hairs and tie it around a fly and you'd have a flying pet? Or was that just me? You loved your loot bag, Jenny? That's really good. Yeah, play up and time out. You would, Linda. What?
Is the Aussie baby retreat next weekend?
I know it's really soon. I know the beading retreat is really, really soon.
Yeah, it looks like Margaret's going.
All right, yep. So Margaret will be going, and Annette, I think, is going as well. No, Jane, you don't need to complete a new registration. It stays continuing each month until you cancel it. So once you subscribe, you don't have there won't be an issue. If you didn't get your email, I know a lot of the newbies to the group didn't get emails. Please make sure you give us a buzz, let us know so we can double check email addresses. The email addresses we do use, guys, are the ones that are attached to your PayPal payment. So if there's an issue with that or that's not the one you normally use, make sure you send us an email and let us know what you want to change to. Jane is going as well, Margaret. Fantastic. Yeah, I knew Annette was going. I saw Annette was going. It'd be lovely. I'd love to be down in Tassie. I am very envious. Oh, yes, I have Tassie on my weather map. When I'm feeling hot and horrible, I check out what Tassie's having. I was very excited to see it snowing there the other day. I understand. I think this one might be the last beading retreat for a little while. These beading retreats have been going on for years now, and I think these might be the last. I could be wrong there, but that's the plan, I understand. All right then, guys, since we're finished, I might sticking hot. You're up in Townsville, Casey? Muggy. It hasn't been too bad here today, but the warmer weather's starting. We've had a week, nearly a whole week of lovely, cool, cold weather, and the warmer weather's due again next week, which I absolutely hate. Yeah, last one for a while. Yeah, I thought she was. She puts a lot of effort into it, so she deserves a break. All right, lovely people. I will say bye now. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to us. We'd really like that. A thumbs up.
Leave comments in the thing if they've got questions after rewatching it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, also, guys, Q&A session, our fourth week Q&A session. Give us some ideas.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got something to talk about, so I'm not standing here or sitting here just, you know, staring at the camera. So if you've got anything you'd like to see us do or talk about, don't forget to send us a line. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoy your night. I'm going to go off and have my dinner, and we will catch up with you through the week. If you make some of your pieces, don't forget to pop them in Aussie Mailers, and we'll catch up with you there. All right, guys, take care. Bye.